Hello friends and welcome back to the C.Gars channel. Today me and Billy back to take a look at the Cuban and NUB Cigars of the month for February. Billy, what do you have?
So the Cuban cigar of the month for February is the Fonseca No. 1. Now this is a Cazadores cigar. It comes in at 6 3/8 of an inch long with a ring gauge of 43. You're looking at around about 45 minutes of enjoyment time with a strength profile of light. So nothing that's going to really blow my head off today, which is somewhat enjoyable.
Nice.
What about for yourself?
So the NUB Cigar of the month is the NUB Cameroon 460. Now this one, as the name suggests, it comes in at 4 inches long with a 60 ring gauge. This one has a Cameroon wrapper and a Nicaraguan binder and filler. This one's going to be medium strength, and I think you'll get about 45 to 50 minutes of enjoyment time too.
Around about the same.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get these cut and lit and we'll get straight into it.
Perfect.
Okay guys, so we are coming towards the middle third now, and I have to say the Cameroon nub is really surprising me. It's like really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a, it's quite light in a sense, like there's no like strength to it.
Mellow, smooth.
Yeah, it's just really easy going. I feel like this is probably a really good one for someone to start off with if you're new in your cigar journey. I'm getting a lot of sweetness there. There's some honey and there's a lot of coffee as well, which are just really
Counteract each other quite nicely, yeah. I can imagine.
Because usually you have like a spice to go along with it.
Yeah.
In the back, this doesn't have that. It's just smooth and sweet.
It's funny you say that, because I mean, I have the same sort of thing with the Fonseca. Okay. I was expecting some spice. You usually do get a little bit of pepper in a Cuban cigar in my experience. It's very smooth, it's quite creamy, thick smoke, and it's just kind of, it's just mellow. There's not all that much going on flavour wise. I'm getting quite a lot of sort of like pine wood. It's really a light wood. Kind of reminds me of the smell of like a pine cone when you're walking through the, it's a weird way to look at it.
Yeah.
But for me, that's what it kind of reminded me of straight off the bat. So that's kind of what I'm going with. But yeah, other than that, strength is sort of non-existent. Really, really, really light, mellow, easy going. Perfect cigar if you're looking to get into Cuban cigars. Perfect cigar to go with straight off the bat. As I said, it's not going to give you any issues at all.
Yeah. What about construction?
Yeah, I mean, construction, it's not too bad. A little bit off on the burn here and there. It kind of self-corrects. I haven't had to touch it up or anything like that. But yeah, I can't really complain. And as far as Cuban cigars go, from my past experiences, draw is pretty much perfect. It's not too tight. I haven't had to stick anything in the end. I haven't had to kind of take any more of the cap off or anything like that. It's kind of just easy. It's easy. Yeah. You know, chop the end off, light the other end. We're pretty much ready to go. It's really, really good cigar. Exactly. Yeah. No issues anywhere.
Yeah, it's good. Mine's perfect.
Yeah, I was going to say the burn on that looks.
The burn is perfect. The ash is holding really well, and the draw is just. I can't complain. I'll probably give it a 10 out of 10 for construction, which is rare.
I was going to say that's a high accolade. You have to
really impressed.
Drag the ash all the way down. You have to try and stand it up. Do the nub challenge, as Scott mentioned in the other day. But
I will be doing that with Cali soon, actually, the nub challenge.
Oh really?
So, yeah, keep a lookout on the channel for that.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, pretty good. Should we see how they develop and take them into the middle third?
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. So we're now moving into the final stages of the middle third of these cigars today, and for the Fonseca No. 1, I wouldn't say that there's been all that much of a transition. I would say that it's almost like a freshness that's kind of sitting above that pine note that I'm getting. On top of that, you kind of get like a real slight bitterness towards the back end that kind of lingers on your palate a little bit between draws. For me, it works. I think it's very well balanced, and especially if that sort of woody profile in a cigar is what you normally go for, I would say that this kind of hits the nail on the head. I wouldn't say it deviates from that all that much. There's not any sort of spice, there's no cream, there's no sweetness, anything like that. It's kind of what you see is what you get with this one, and personally I'm quite enjoying it.
Oh yeah, so, that's good.
In terms of the nub, what are you thinking?
So this one had quite a prominent change.
Okay.
I've never, I mean, I've had cigars where I have noticed a change like that, but this is like, it went from sweet straight to savory.
Okay.
And now I'm getting like really rich notes of wood and nuts, which like that change is just like, it shocked me a little bit.
It's thrown you off a little bit.
It threw me off a little bit, but it's still really good. And there is an ever so slight sweetness still in the background. It's still not spicy, it's still not, it's not peppery, it's not too intense. But that change just really, I don't know, it adds a lot of character to the cigar, a lot of boldness.
You can see the kind of change between the two thirds as well.
And it was so prominent, it was so there that you couldn't not notice it. So
complete switch up.
Yeah, it's just incredible. But I mean,
I've never had that. I've never had it where it kind of, I kind of have, but not so that it's like the first third is completely different to the second.
So you get it in stages.
Yeah,
it
kind of.
Gradually changes. This just changed, like it's just switched up.
Well,
so
new experience on the old palate.
yeah, I mean, I think it's really, really good, and I would 100% pick another one up.
I was gonna say, safe to say we're both really enjoying these cigars today, and obviously I can't wait to get it all the way down to the bottom and take everything that it can offer.
Yeah.
I'm kind of expecting a little bit of spice to kick in somewhere along the line. I won't be disappointed if it doesn't, but I feel like they could give more of a little bit of spice maybe.
Okay.
But we'll see how it plays.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, my ash is also holding extremely well right now.
Yeah.
Still going with it.
Still not fell off.
Yeah, I keep getting tempted to just tap it off a little bit, but yeah. I mean,
yeah, you don't quite get a stack of ash like that on the Fonseca. It's kind of a little bit more touch and go, if you like. If you don't ash it, it's probably going to fall down on your clothes.
I feel like a lot of nubs are really packed with tobacco. Like, obviously, we felt the cigar before I started smoking it, and it was packed. Like, you could really feel that. And I was a bit worried that the draw was going to be a bit off, but it's not. So
I was going to say, construction-wise, we can't really complain at all.
No, not at all.
So far, but as I say, we'll see how it plays out.
Perfect. Well, we'll see if this transitions anymore. So, yeah, we'll catch you guys in the final third. Right, guys, so we are in the final thirds now, and the nub has changed again. It's now very earthy. There's a lot of, it's quite oily in a way, and there's a lot of mineral-y sort of notes in there as well, which is quite pleasant. There's also a bit of leather and a slight sort of chocolatiness, I guess, in the background. So overall, this is a really complex cigar, but it's not too complex. Like, you can figure things out, you can pick them apart. Like I said before in the interview with George, there's like a fine line when it comes to complexity, and if you go past that line, it becomes too much. Whereas this sits before that line, you can figure it out. You can really sit with it and think, well, this is not good. It's not too much.
The flavours stand out, even though there's quite an abundance of them.
Yeah.
They kind of stand out and individually offer you certain things at certain points by the sounds of it.
Exactly.
So it does sound like a very good cigar. I mean, you've kind of convinced me I might have to pick one.
Yeah, I think you should.
I'm probably going to pick one up and have to sample it myself just to understand what it is. In terms of the Fonseca #1, again, transition, it has transitioned. It doesn't kind of deviate away from that path any more than it normally sort of does. It's got more earthy, especially in the final third and like sort of down to the nub. It's much more earthy. It brings quite like a bonfire-y sort of smokiness, which I think has rounded off the cigar really, really nicely. It adds another element to it. And again, as I said, it's quite one-dimensional. It doesn't deviate off that path of sort of woodiness, things like that. So it does bring that extra aspect to it, just to kind of shock your palate into thinking, oh, this is really enjoyable. It gives you that extra element, which again, I think really, really has complemented the blend more so, if that makes sense. A little bit of a ramble, but we make it work.
Yeah.
No.
I think we're both really impressed with the blends.
Yeah. And considering how different they are, the notes that you've mentioned, earthiness in your final third, earthiness in the final third, they kind of, it's a good match. It's kind of the same sort of aspects in each one. Considering the differences in obviously Cuban, New World, they kind of marry each other, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
You know?
Weird way of putting it, but
Yeah, they kind of work in harmony with each other,
yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Would you
I don't
smoke
know.
them at the same time?
Maybe one day.
Controversial talk.
2 cigars in one go, one in each hand.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll sit back and enjoy the rest of the cigars.
Of
If you
course.
guys want to learn more, the link is in the description below. And until next time, stay safe and happy huffing. Peace.